Oh, somebody knows it's breakfast time. Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, my wife Tara, and our daughter, I think, is just somewhere back there. She just went into the barn to start feeding this morning. It is 2 degrees, so I've got my my parka on, getting ready for winter. Tara's got her high vis on.
I have my long johns, my wool socks.
She has her Thinsulate cap. She has her hoodie. She doesn't do well in the winter.
I don't do cold.
She doesn't do winter. So we're living in the wrong spot if that's the case. So we're just heading down to the barn here to get some hay for the animals up front. Tiana's starting the feeding inside. And we're gonna go back and meet up with her once we get these guys fed. Hey guys, ready for breakfast? There's Carl. Where is Daisy? You need a knife?
Yeah, for that one. Oh, that's the wrong end.
Here, I'll hold this up. All right, there we go.
That is so nice. There's like clover, mint, lots of clover. I love this. You can even, like, sometimes you can smell the mint.
Yeah, so this stuff here was harvested as ditch hay, actually. And it has a wide variety of different grasses in it, which is great. Animals love it.
Well, there's a lot of medicinal, like clover is extremely good for them. And then you get your lavenders and your wild mints in ditch hay. A lot of people want to look for, you know, horse hay, which is a specific or certain amount of alfalfa and all that stuff. But when it comes to these guys, we have found that when they're on the ditch hay, they're just so much healthier. And because you're getting all natural, it's it's what they would eat if they were out there.
You just sometimes get surprises. Sometimes
yeah,
a beer can. Or I just noticed this here. There's a piece of piece of garbage there, which we'll have to grab because it just gets baled up right in along with it, whatever's in the ditch. Oh, good job! Right through the electric fence, like a champ.
Like a champ.
So this is our septic field. It's a raised septic field. These bales here are flax straw, and of course flax has a lot of oil in it, so they don't break down nearly as easily as hay or straw. And how old are these? These are old. Yeah, they're about 4 years old. And
I've moved them, and they're light.
Yeah.
You know, so they get a little bit of mold on the surface, but they're
so we didn't mow the last little bit to keep the grass up a little higher. And then these bales will kind of capture some snow to keep it insulated so we don't get any freezing.
Daisy.
Where is she? She's probably in her little house there. I don't want to get up. Today's video is sponsored by Gallagher Animal Management. And if you've been watching these videos for a while, you'll know that we have Gallagher electric fence charging systems, wiring, smart fences. And one of the other things that we're trying out is the waterer. So here's the waterer here. We got 2 of these waterers. I can't say waterer. There's Daisy there. She's had some foot issues in the past.
She gets, like, we do her more regularly than normal, but Sherry's here on Wednesday, I think. And it's with the cold weather and the change, you get stiff. It's like anybody with arthritis. You see me in the morning, right? You got to get on the right shoes and you got to work out the muscles. And
yeah, so she's obviously liking the cleaned out. We were thinking about moving this out of the way because it is trapping some water, but then it's damming water from going into the building here. We're going to be moving this next year. And that brings me back to this water. So it was below zero, freezing last night. We do have some ice in here, but we haven't plugged in the heater on it yet.
Yeah, I gotta plug it in right now. No, well.
So the whole idea here is we're using this in an unconventional way. So what we usually do is we bring water out and we either hose it out with a hose that's not going to freeze or that has some kind of, what do you call it, a slinky capability. Those hoses don't work very well. They grow and they shrink as you fill them up. Tara's come up with this idea here. So it automatically drains and we can put the water in. Now, our plans are what? Oh. Yeah, that's if she's in the building. She might be out. There's magic bang. No. I don't think she heard you.
Wait for it.
No, I don't think so. So as we're waiting for Tara's water, what we're planning on doing is the spigot on the wall is actually always open. So the reason why she's banging on the wall is because this tap doesn't actually shut off and the main is inside. So what I'm going to do this week is probably pick up another one of these guys. They're a frost-free and they extend into the building, which remains above zero. So then we'll be able to turn it on, turn it off here. The whole idea with this hose is so that it automatically drains when she disconnects it. We're going to put those quick connect or quick disconnect units for hoses. So we may try something like that. We want to make.
Call me from the
Sure.
I need my hose on.
I was doing rabbit water.
Yeah,
Okay, go.
that's what I kind of figured.
You're banging from over there. I'm like, what is she doing?
So
Automatic water is not where it should be.
So it's too late in the season. It's getting too cold to actually mount this up properly, as well as to, because we've got to pour a concrete base, we've got to run heat trace, we've got to run electrical. It's all got to be run underground. But I think this will probably work, depending on how many animals you have and how fast they drink and the size of the animals.
This is the same amount they went through yesterday.
Yeah. So, yeah, because we had filled it up, well, almost up to the top. So this is in, because we did this late, like yesterday evening, wasn't it? Wasn't in the morning.
Yeah, the day before.
2 days ago?
Oh, but the first water that comes out is dirty.
So, so we've got two of these units here. One's here for the 2 male goats, as well as the 3 ponies. Now, of course, the goats will be going in with the girls within the next month. So there'll only be 3 ponies on this. All right, I think you're done. Yeah, we'll have to get you fixed up. Okay. We'll have to get you fixed up with that so we can automate a little better. And depending on how things work, we may even use them like that. Now, if you've got cattle can be a lot more rough with them. That's why they're bolted down. So there is sections on the feet here to bolt them down. There's the access here. And then what you do is you access all the mechanism. Oh, I almost touched that. Actually, I did, but it wasn't snapping. So here is the heater that's in there. So this will be, we've had lots of challenges with water. That just goes back in. Watering systems, actually more so heaters. So it gets cold in our climate and the heaters fail. So we usually go through at least 1 heater a year per unit. So that would be two heaters. This looks like it's going to be a better system to use. So we're going to be testing this system out over you know, over the winter months to see how it works in kind of a standalone small hobby farm application. And then likely next year we'll probably plumb it in with electrical and with heat trace and then give it a go that way. But we first want to move this horse shelter into its permanent location because we want to raise up some of the ground and do a little things with that. So we'll head in and have a look at the other water that is up with the other animals. Hey buddy, you and your girl are hanging out up here on the hay. She's back in the corner. So this is moving into the rabbit area with our nice enclosure now built. And it's actually quite a bit warmer in this area. There's our boy rabbits. Hey guys. And our girls. They got their hay. They're all got all their spots underneath there. We want to put in some kennels. We've got a bunch of dog kennels. We want to take them apart and then put like the half shell down into the hay so that they have somewhere to go in. So that's kind of the next project to do with that.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Are you gonna do it now? Okay. We do have the those containers there, which are meant for composting, which we got, I don't know, Tara worked her magic and got those. We've got a couple roosters in there with the rabbits. They like to hang out together. So this is the you know, the enclosure now with the poly, the 6mm poly on it. And as I mentioned, it was actually warmer in here yesterday than it was outside. So this is where the ducks and geese will hang out. We're gonna have to change their water fairly regularly because ducks do mess up their water. They just play in there. I've also got lights, so they're actually LED Christmas lights that run around the entire exterior. So we can turn them on remotely, and all of these lights come on in here. So this will be nice when the days are shorter and the darkness is longer. So yeah, this is where the pigeons and actually a lot of the chickadees will be hanging out. All right, so we've got our duck door down here so the small animals can come and go, but we're keeping our larger animals out of the area because of course we've got grain for the birds in that container right there, and they're a little bit messy on there, so we'll have to adjust that as well. So Tiana was just out here while we were getting, hi Fernando, good morning. So she did the feed already out here while we were getting hay for the other ones. Now, the water, yes Fernando, hi. So we are going to disconnect this one. This is the one that we had with a heater in it, and as I mentioned, the heater I think is a 1500 watt heater, and we were heating just a large mass of water. Which energy efficiency, we don't necessarily want to do that if they're only utilizing the top 6 inches of the water. There's no point in heating 1.5 foot of water. So the heater in the Gallagher system, it's called the Lil Spring, that one holds 6 gallons of water, which we think is going to be enough for the waters in a 12, 18, 20, even 24-hour period. So that's something we're going to be testing out, is how much water are they drinking? Can we utilize it in this setup without it being plumbed? So that'll be interesting. So stay tuned for that over the next, over the winter, actually. Hey, Glenn. All right, so the other water that we have is another Lil Spring, which is in here. And since it has 2 sides to it, we've got that end there, and we've got this end over here. JJ, what are you doing? You're getting all the hay down there. JJ, hi buddy. What are you doing? So this is JJ and Willow and Sheldon's pen. Sheldon's just out there, and there's Willow there. Hi Willow. So we're going to be getting 3 goats in that we're going to be goat sitting over the next, I don't want to say 2 or 3 months. Sheldon, be nice. Sheldon can be a little pushy at times. He's our special boy. Hey, you got to put up with that. You got to put up with that, don't you? So yeah, same kind of setup. Now, if everything works, we may just plumb this in and heat trace the line into it to do automatic watering. But again, this is kind of a test how we're going to do this. And again, this top here opens up. There is mechanism that it comes with. We don't have it in here, which is a float valve and everything you need to automate it. So we're just going to use it like this and find out how things go. Now there is another one, because that one is a little bit too high for the pigs, because the pigs are a little bit lower profile. We have another one that is coming, and it has two flaps on it, so it has two sides and it has a flap, so the pigs will push up with their nose. Now, we've already laid out a block here. We're thinking this is probably the ideal place for it, because this is usually where the pigs, we call it nest, the pigs nest during the... What are you two doing? No, Paula. You share. You girls. The boys don't usually have a problem. It's the girls. Boys are over here. Why do you do that? They don't spit at humans. They only, Paula only spits at her own kind. Oh boy. So anyway, that's where the water for the pig water is going to go. Again, we're going to be testing that out in the same way. Because we only have 2 pigs, we feel they're not going to be drinking that much water, and we should be able to just fill them manually. And then we're going to revisit things next year and possibly plumb them in. So that's something that we may even see next weekend. So, Boo! What is it, Boo? She's awfully noisy, yeah? Oh, right, white lightning. So this rabbit came in yesterday, and his name is White Lightning. White Lightning, he was found in the city, but he's so, like, he feels like he's so old. Yeah. And he feels like he's done. But he's in New Zealand, it looks like. New Zealand. He's got a little bit of ear mites, which we're treated for. I'll treat again. Actually, if you want to grab the spray, Pam spray, I'll show them what to do. And he's got a lot of wounds that aren't dirty, they're clean. So I'm guessing he was probably hit by a car, rolled, and had a lot of road rash. But he's sweet, but his energy is, I'm done. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll give him a comfy spot, but he feels, yeah, and he doesn't like, he's a little thin. Hey. Well, and you were concerned about putting him in with the boys because they may, because he is so docile. Yeah, they'll pick up. So he's just going to live out here. I'll cuddle him in and give him his own hay and, you know. Spoil him. Spoil him. Because when they get to that age. Oh, buddy. You can't put them in a cage. They're just. Yeah. Hey. But that's what, like, holding him, he's just like. Yeah. I'm done. I'm done. So what we use for mites is cooking spray.
Here, you give me him.
So cooking spray has canola in it. And it's just an easy way, or canola oil, I guess. Well, if you've ever tried to get into a rabbit's ear, they don't like it. Yeah. So if you look in there, see all that red and all that mites and like skin, whatnot. So that's very, very irritating. So we take the spray, foam it in there, right? It's just, it's easier. Look at him, look at his eye. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. That's nice. Oh, I like that. And the oil suffocates, yeah, that's where I wanted to get in there. The oil suffocates any of the mites. And it's, oh, this one's thick. I got it in there, okay? Oh, yes. Maybe you'll come back to life without mites in your ears. Okay?
He's got very long claws.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go, buddy. Yeah.
I bet he'll be able to dig in. Look at him, he's just chill. But I think he's old, like that's, I always say it's the energy that I feel when I first hold the animal. And I mean, he's either given up or he's old. And he feels old. But, so every couple days we'll retreat that, you can buy some fancy oil and put it in there, but it's basically an oil that is suffocating the mites, dust mites, and moisturizing. And it's gonna sound weird, but I know dry skin. I know dry skin cracking and painful and everything else. So for me, when you don't have any scents or any chemicals or anything like that, then it doesn't hurt. So this is something that I would use on myself, which is why I use it on the animals, because I know that it's a comfortable healing process instead of using chemicals and which can harm them and hurt and sting. So this doesn't, right? I'm gonna go tuck him in now.
Okay. Hi, Petey. Hi, Petey. So water is often a challenge for the pigs during the winter months because they can't utilize, Boo's even having a little tough time getting over the edge because it is so high. So right now they go to the water, they go to the pond and they do the drinking there. But in the winter months, last winter, we've done just a rubber water dish that we pour in twice a day. It freezes, but they get their water. So both Petey and Piper over here. So these new waters are going to be interesting. We're going to have to, of course, train them on how to use it. Pigs are very smart. And maybe what we'll do is, the thought is we'll leave the flap open for the first little while until they know where the water is. And then we can close it, and that insulates the water in, so it only needs a 50-watt heater. Both, or all three of these units that we're going to have are, 500-watt, 50-watt. I just add a zero to that, Mark. They're a 500-watt heater instead of the 1,500-watt or 1,200-watt. Usually they change in range depending on the model. So it'll be using a lot less energy, and I think will be a lot more efficient. Now, if you're looking for any kind of electric fence or charger or water or any kind of animal management system, head over to Gallagher's website. I'll put a link down in the description. You can have a look at these waters, the chargers, the smart fencing, all of the products that they have over there. And if you use the code 10acrewood at checkout, you actually get 10% off your order. Now also, if you're going into a brick and mortar store, some people don't buy online, you can do that as well, and then you just call the 1-800 number for Gallagher, and then they'll process your 10% discount from there. All right, so it won't be long now until we are going to shut down the pond, shut off the pump here, and pull it out of the pond. So that's our circulation system. There's Glenn again, and we have looks like two ducks. They're cayuga ducks, and they're looks like they're just skimming off the bottom here. So
Quackers and dip.
Is that quackers and dip? Okay, it is. So they were found, weren't they?
Yeah. In the ditch. He thought they were wild ducks, so he raised them up. They're not wild ducks. So
yeah, because they were ducklings, and of course,
yeah,
when you see ducklings, they all pretty much look the same.
Yeah.
Until they get older.
So it's quackers and dip.
So quackers and dip, and they changed coloring, and he realized how big they are, because wild
so cute.
Wild mallards don't grow nearly as large.
Bottoms up.
Yeah, bottoms up. And we do have some rowan around. Looks like they're over on the other side of the pond here.
Well, you've got Kai, who's a cayuga.
Yeah, he's on the right.
2 rowan ducks. Then you got a harlequin girl, rowan male, Rowan
And-
cross
Ancona.
female. Yeah, Ancona. Or is that the Ancona male?
That's an Ancona. It looks like the Ancona female.
Yeah.
So the two,
Mallard in the back.
the two towards the right, those two mallard, or sorry, mallard, now I said mallard, the Rowan males, they of course look like mallards, and the females,
Well, there's a real mallard right up top. That's a female.
oh, okay, I didn't even see, right in the,
Yeah.
right in the grass there.
He's playing in the leaves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
playing in the leaves.
Yeah. And then this is a Rowan female over here.
So the mallards look the same, they're just smaller.
So this is.
Oh yeah, here you go.
And then Mac
Yeah.
Mac.
Yeah, Mac Mac, which is on the
Mac.
left there, and then there's a Rowan female.
Yeah, Mac Mac was raised in the house
Yeah.
as well, right, with the dog. And then they had to get rid of her because the neighbors complained,
Yeah, can't keep ducks in the city.
right?
And then, of course, our Muscovies
Yeah,
here.
there's a lot of Muscovies.
Now, Fernando, for some reason, yes, he just, he does this to the girls. He doesn't really do it to me.
No, he sees the camera now.
Yeah, he sees the camera. But he tries to attack, like it's like bite the hand that feeds you.
Hi.
It's typical of saving, like your kids are always misbehave the most for you,
Yeah.
behave the best for other people.
So it's like he's,
Does it to both of us now.
yeah.
You used to only do it to her,
it's like he's trying to dominate to get more food.
right?
Because the girls come out and feed more often than I do, because I work during the week, and then they come out during the day, like a little later in the morning, and feed them. So I think maybe he sees you two as the
Hand that feeds them.
hand that feeds,
Well,
and he is, you know, he's wanting his own or more food, is what I'm.
So when he does get aggressive, we either put him on a timeout or we walk towards him and we are the alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his aggression towards me more so started though when we did petting farms.
Yeah.
Oh, because
because
you
when-
were his handler.
Yes, when we went on petting farms, I was the one that had to pick him up and put him in the backseat of the truck to go home. So I was stealing him from his adoring fans.
Yeah.
And he didn't like that. So on the way home,
Oh, boy.
I couldn't put my hand too far behind me or else he'd try to peck me.
Yeah. He's like, you take me away from my fans.
Did
How
you get
dare
the
you?
new Muscovies in there?
The new ones?
Yeah,
Yes,
these-
I did. Yeah. No, they were hanging out over by the
Beautiful
shelter
chocolate.
last week.
They're behind on their molt though.
Yeah, it looks like they're molting now.
Yeah.
Well, the males are anyway. Oh, and the one female. And they're very talkative.
Yeah.
Although Muscovies are quite talkative.
Well, and they're not, right? Ducks? Right, hi, Piper. Fernando.
Don't be a pain.
Piper. Piper. I know, it's because you're there.
Psych.
He's quick though. You can't play games because he is quick. I love you! Oh! I love you!
Yeah, he doesn't care too much for hugs. And then he whines.
You can't be like that. I love you.
He's like, give me my own food. Give me
Does
my
that
own
whole
food.
like
Yeah, psych.
I've learned to walk at the perfect speed that he can't jump attack me. He just runs behind me.
go wear my hat. Maybe it's because we bug him.
No, it's because you bug him. I think you're the only one that bugs him.
He's fun to bug. But it doesn't bug like. I think you eating it. You eating hay? Tinkerbell. So here, same with the rabbits. This Tinkerbell, if you look in her ears, you can see all the yellow. That is oil, but that's lanolin. So that's why sheep don't get the bugs like that. You want produce a lot of lanolin, which is nice to see. It's not dirty. It's lanolin.
Sheldon? Sheldon, buddy? What are you doing? What are you doing? So yeah, as I mentioned, these three are going to remain out here. Onyx and Moira are inside now. So we figured we would put them in. They're a little bit more docile. Sheldon can be a little pushy, which we saw earlier, towards the lambs. Hey, bud? And then we're going to see how he does with the other ones. So we've got more areas inside the barn. So if need be, we can always move them around if there's any issues. But if there's not any issues, then they can all go into that area there. And they've got all their hay in there. Looks like I lost the girls. I think they went out through the front section. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be watching those watering systems over the course of the next few months, the winter months, to see how they fare. And then in the spring, we're going to decide exactly how we're going to set them up. Do they work as for a small homestead with a few animals, or do we need to plumb them in? So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't subscribed, we've now hit 30,000 subscribers as of a couple days ago. So that's pretty exciting. So hitting yet another milestone. So if you're not subscribed to our channel, click on that subscribe button because we'd love to have you again. Take care. Bye-bye.